Podcast. Welcome back to the No State Project. I'm your host, Mark Stevens. Our website, markstevens.net, where you can hear the show. You can also hear the show by going to lrn.fm. You can listen. You can go to on the website. Calvin has done a great job. I appreciate it. We've got a list of affiliates there. You can also see the LRN affiliates at lrn.fm. But if you've got a phone, JT, most phones you can listen to. You can plug it into your car. You don't have to worry about terrestrial radio. Just plug it into your car.
Right.
And listen. So wherever you're listening, I appreciate you tuning in. And I want to get back to this. You want to Skype me during the show because we cannot take calls today, but I'm working on it that we should be able to get the calls again next week and just get the tech issues straightened out. But that's the beautiful thing of bartering, and I was able to barter for some of the equipment, so it really, it's just a great opportunity, a great way to do things. We'll be talking more about barter and basically sticking to the man and not collecting sales tax at some festivals a little bit later in the show. So you want to keep tuning in for that. But I want to make, before we get back into this, the McAllen workshop with seatings limited. So we're going to be doing that on the 26th of February. So you want to go to rgvnostate.com and you get with Armando to register for that. So this one's definitely not being canceled. It's set in stone. I'm going out there. We're coming out. So it's not going to be postponed or anything like that. So sign up today and don't worry. It's not going to be postponed. And it's only $50. We've got a special rate on that one. And so it's basically you basically what you're doing, JT, is you're paying for the script and the template that we use, and the workshop really, there's no fee for the workshop.
Well, you can't find a better place for $50. That's for sure. As far as getting an education. Well,
thank you. And you see, I've been accused. The Quatloosers. Like you mentioned that the founders
and the two frauds that have been charged with fraud. One-eyed Jack and his buddy.
What I think is funny is how they always come out against people. And some of the things they said about our friend Larkin Rose was just downright mean. They're so pro-government that if Larkin or me or someone else gets accused by these people, they're guilty. Of
course.
I wonder if there's any cheerleading for, or there's some kind of internal conflict for the Quatloosers, and all those so-called lawyers over there, if they have a dilemma. Like, who do they support? Who do they cheerlead now?
Well, it's a cross worship, right? They worship the state and they worship the organization that is Quatloos. They don't think independently. They're devoid of critical thought. They have no ability to think critically, and it's groupthink. It's classic groupthink.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't remember how I got to it, but I got to Quatloos somewhere, and I hadn't been there for years, and I just typed my name in to see what if they were saying anything about me, and someone had posted the link for the article of owning an IRS lawyer, and they were saying that I was the one that came off sounding like a moron.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So if anybody wanted to invite, I'm not going to go on the site, and I already asked Dan Evans to be on. He won't come on.
Of course not.
Big surprise there.
Yeah,
so,
shock.
What's interesting is the Quatlooser guys. One of the attorneys there had said that there's no evidence that I have ever helped anybody win anything in court. and just, before you and I met, you heard me on Ernest Hancock's show. You bought the book.
Correct.
And you did get a the prosecutor, after you asked him 3 questions. Actually, you only asked the prosecutor 1 question.
Right. I asked the judge, 2 to the judge and 1 to the prosecutor, and the prosecutor locked up.
Right, and he withdrew the charge.
Correct.
So,
the judge told me it was my lucky day, quote unquote.
Now, let me ask you: do you have personal, first-hand knowledge of this? You were present there. It happened to you.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
So you would be a competent, qualified witness to testify that I had actually helped somebody.
Yes.
Get a traffic ticket thrown out
before you even knew who I was.
Yeah, look at that. So somebody's taken the book and replicating the experience and results that I had.
Sure.
That sounds scientific to me.
That's before you and I even talked.
Yeah.
Just from reading the book.
Yeah, you just took 3 questions out of the book, and you made a choice as an adult to do this, and bada boom, bada bing, it worked out pretty dang well.
Yes, it did.
So I wanted to add a little bit more to the evidence that I have held people directly or indirectly, getting tickets and whatnot thrown out. We're going to get Ted. I want Ted to call into the show. Ted from Washington. He went in as a reporter for the No State Project. He was going to let the judge know a friend of his was going in for a traffic ticket.
Okay.
And this was on, I think it was Thursday morning. And what happened was, he prepared her. He helped, they role played, and they had filed the motion template that I sell, which is what we use at the workshops.
Right.
And I said, I tell people up front, most of the time it's not even ruled on. That's not what it's not necessarily why we're filing it. It's to set the stage, it's to set a certain context so that it will get thrown out,
right.
The ticket. Because 75% of the time the cop doesn't show up, which is nice.
Right.
So they get prepared and they go in and he's all ready to go and he's got my contact information if the bailiff wants to verify he's from the media so they could call me and say, and I would be able to tell him, yeah, he's the man and he's a reporter for the show and so they get in there, JT, and according to Ted, and I want to have him on next week or when he's available to come on and tell us directly because he's got personal first-hand knowledge. I'm just giving you, what he told me.
Sure.
So they get in there. And this is the second time it's happened in Washington. The first time it happened about 8-9 years ago. I was working with someone in Walla Walla. They get in there, and there's no record of her docket of her having to appear for a trial.
What?
Yeah,
they make you sign something to show up. I mean, how can they miss that?
Well, she's got the documentation. She's ordered to be there. She's supposed to be there for a trial. She goes in there. And he's got photograph. He put this on the forum too, by the way. So you can go to markstevens.net, go on the forum, go down to the sub forum where we have success stories, and he's got this laid out there. But they went and they looked on the docket, because you go and you see it, all the names are on there, and it's posted on the wall. She wasn't there. There was no record of it. So they're able to verify this with the clerk. That there's nothing set for her to have a trial. She's got the paperwork. There's nothing on record of it. They get documentation and a date stamp from the clerk that she was there, and they got photo. So they took a picture, and so if they come back late, charges, and we were ecstatic. So he calls me the following week. He says, Mark, I hate to rain on your parade here, but the judge still has me on the docket and says I have to be here. He said, that he's going to prosecute me anyway.
You're kidding.
Honest to goodness truth. And so I'm thinking, all right. So what we did was we filed a motion to disqualify the judge.
Right.
Well, in a criminal situation, you're able to do that. And so the judge is, they changed the judge. So the guy goes in anyway, and there's no record of him on the docket. The judge says, well, there's no ticket here, sir. You're free to go. And so now twice we've had this happen in Washington.
Wow.
But we've got another success story to talk about when we come back. So don't go anywhere. We come back here on the No State Project where we're talking about tickets, tyrants, and assessments, and another ticket that was thrown out. So I'm really stoked about that. So don't go away. We'll be right back.